Weather forecast. Good evening, dear viewers. Today, we step into one of the most active periods of the extreme weather season. Out in the Pacific, a once powerful hurricane is steadily weakening. In the Atlantic, a tropical disturbance of uncertain shape but considerable risk is taking form. Meanwhile, across the mainland United States, bands of severe thunderstorms continue to erupt, bringing with them the threat of weak tornadoes and torrential rainfall. At the same time, an unusually early cold air mass has swept in, producing rare chilly mornings for early September, only to be followed soon by a reversal, with heat returning to dominate many regions by mid-month. Together, these elements are painting a dramatic climate picture that we will analyze in detail in today's news bulletin. First, let's look toward the western Pacific, where Hurricane Kiko still lingers. This storm once reached Category 4 strength with winds exceeding 140 miles per hour. But it has now begun to weaken under two unfavorable influences: strong vertical wind shear from an upper-level low, which has shredded its convective structure, and its northward movement into cooler waters, which has stripped away its thermal energy. Experts forecast that within the next 1 to 2 days, Kiko may downgrade to Category 1 and then weaken further into a tropical storm with maximum winds around 50 to 60 miles per hour. Fortunately, its track is bending well north of Hawaii, reducing the chance of direct impact. Still, outer rain bands and high surf may affect coastal areas, particularly the eastern side of the Big Island. Local authorities continue to advise residents to stock essential supplies, check shelters, and remain cautious, as just a few hours of heavy rain can trigger flash flooding in low-lying or mountainous terrain. Turning next to the eastern Atlantic, we find another focal point, tropical disturbance Invest 91L, which has just emerged off the African coast, moving westward at around 7 miles per hour. Its maximum winds are only 20 to 25 miles per hour. The center remains poorly defined, and convection is scattered and disrupted by strong wind shear and dry Saharan air. For the short term, rapid intensification is unlikely. However, models generally agree that as the system nears the Lesser Antilles, where oceanic heat content is higher and waters are warmer at depth, conditions will become more favorable for development. If it organizes, it may strengthen into a tropical depression or storm and be named Gabrielle. Forecast scenarios currently fall into three main paths. Weak scenario: Invest 91L continues to suffer from shear and dry air, weakening further and posing little threat as it approaches the Antilles. Moderate scenario: the system becomes a tropical depression, then curves northward under the influence of the subtropical high, passing near Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands before recurving out into the Atlantic as a fish storm. Southern track: the system maintains moderate strength, avoids shear, slides further south, penetrates deep into the Caribbean, and possibly threatens the Gulf of Mexico. This track is less likely but cannot be dismissed. Uncertainty beyond 4 to 5 days remains high. Islands such as the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, and even the Bahamas should monitor developments closely. Though panic is premature, preparing essential supplies during hurricane season is always wise. Back on U.S. soil, today and tomorrow the storm bands tied to the cold front are raising concern. The risk map places many areas under marginal risk, meaning hazardous weather could occur in scattered form. Threats include gusts up to 50 to 60 miles per hour, small hail capable of damaging roofs or vehicles, frequent lightning, and, notably, a 2% probability of weak tornadoes. Though 2% may sound small, over hundreds of thousands of square miles, this equates to several possible tornadoes, localized but potentially dangerous. The greatest risks come in the evening and overnight hours, when visibility is limited and training storms may lead to rapid urban flooding or flash floods in narrow valleys. Tomorrow, Saturday, the cold front will slide further east, spreading storms across the eastern seaboard from Washington, D.C., and Baltimore to Greensboro, New Jersey, and New England. With high population density, even isolated power outages or traffic disruptions can have large ripple effects. The timing is especially critical on a weekend, when outdoor events, festivals, and sporting activities are common. Authorities recommend having contingency plans in place. Another factor to highlight is the shock of this cold air mass across the northern and central United States. This morning, many locations in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and North Dakota recorded temperatures in the 40s degrees F. With wind chills dipping into the 30s. Daytime highs reached only the 50s and 60s, while the South and Gulf Coast remained in the 80s to 90s degrees F. Such sharp contrasts stress both the human body and agriculture. Still, this cold spell will not last. Forecasts indicate that by mid-September, a high-pressure ridge will re-establish dominance over the central U.S., pulling heat back in, with Nebraska possibly reaching 100 degrees Fahrenheit by September 13. This phenomenon is often called a false fall, an early chill that arrives suddenly and then departs just as quickly. In the longer term, meteorologists caution that from mid to late September, the MDR, Main Development Region, Caribbean, and Gulf of Mexico will become increasingly conducive for tropical cyclone formation. Dynamic indices such as potential vorticity, moisture availability, and Kelvin waves all suggest additional systems are likely. Historically, the strongest hurricanes cluster between mid-September and early October. This means several more active weeks lie ahead, with not only the Caribbean islands but also the U.S. Southeast, the Gulf of Mexico, and even Bermuda needing to stay vigilant. A system recurving safely out to sea would be fortunate, but a track into the Gulf or along the East Coast could bring significant impacts. To summarize today's outlook, Hurricane Kiko is weakening and bending northward, reducing Hawaii's direct threat but still bringing rain and surf. Invest 91L remains weak but holds potential to become Gabrielle in coming days. With islands in the Lesser Antilles and Puerto Rico advised to monitor, mainland U.S. continues to face thunderstorms with gusty winds, small hail, and the chance of weak tornadoes. An unusual September chill grips the north while the south stays hot, and overall, this false fall will soon give way to a resurgence of heat by mid-month. Just as tropical activity in the Atlantic is set to ramp up. Detailed weather forecast, Saturday, September 6, 2025. Following the broader analysis, we now bring you the detailed forecast for key regions and states across the United States on Saturday, September 6, 2025. Although it is the weekend, the weather will be far from calm, as a cold air mass continues to surge southward from Canada, combined with Gulf moisture. This will provide fuel for thunderstorms in many areas, while other regions will experience the crisp, cool feel of early autumn. Northeast, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New England, expect a mostly cloudy day with scattered showers and thunderstorms. New York City and Philadelphia may see intermittent rain during the day, with stronger afternoon and evening thunderstorms capable of gusty winds and lightning strikes. Highs will range from 74 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit, cooling to 58 to 62 degrees Fahrenheit at night. In New England, particularly Massachusetts and Maine, conditions will be noticeably cooler, with daytime highs only around 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Travelers by road or air should prepare for delays due to sudden downpours. Mid-Atlantic, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina. This will be the peak of the stormy spell. Washington, D.C., and Baltimore are expected to see thunderstorms during the afternoon, some strong with gusts over 40 miles per hour and small hail. Highs will reach 80 to 83 degrees Fahrenheit, with nighttime lows around 65 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Further south, Greensboro, North Carolina, and nearby areas may face strong late-afternoon thunderstorms, with a 2% chance of weak tornadoes due to localized rotation. Southeast, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, hot and humid conditions persist. Atlanta will see mostly cloudy skies with afternoon showers and a high near 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Florida, especially Orlando and Miami, will experience partly sunny skies, but tropical afternoon and evening thunderstorms are expected, accompanied by lightning and locally heavy rain that may trigger flash flooding. Southern Florida will feel oppressive, with highs around 90 to 92 degrees Fahrenheit and high humidity. Midwest, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan. The region will be cooler and cloudier. Chicago will see highs of only 70 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, with nighttime lows around 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Ohio and Indiana will have scattered showers and occasional thunderstorms, though generally weak. Northern Michigan, particularly near Lake Superior, will start the morning with patchy fog and chilly readings, some as low as 48 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Central and Southern Plains, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, Nebraska, weather contrasts will be evident. Texas remains hot, with highs of 95 degrees Fahrenheit in Dallas and 92 degrees Fahrenheit in Houston. Humid and with isolated afternoon thunderstorms. Arkansas and Oklahoma, especially Little Rock and Tulsa, face thunderstorms with the potential for gusty winds and small hail. Kansas and Nebraska will be cooler, with highs between 78 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit and evening lows around 58 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Rocky Mountains, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, drier weather dominates here. Denver will be partly sunny with a high near 75 degrees Fahrenheit, dropping sharply to 50 degrees Fahrenheit at night. Montana and Wyoming will start off quite chilly, with some morning lows below 45 degrees Fahrenheit, before daytime highs reach 68 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. West Coast, California remains dry overall. Los Angeles will be sunny with a high of 84 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 65 degrees Fahrenheit at night. San Francisco will see morning clouds giving way to partial sunshine by midday, with highs near 72 degrees Fahrenheit. The Pacific Northwest, including Seattle and Portland, will experience light scattered showers and morning fog, with highs of 68 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you for watching today's weather forecast news bulletin. Please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated with the latest information. We will continue to accompany you in the coming days. Wishing you safety and peace. Goodbye for now, and see you in our next bulletin.